Hey guys, thanks for checking out Scare Talk. But before we get to all the horror goodness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the platform that we use to upload our podcasts. Anchor distributes the podcast to Apple, Google, Spotify. It's free. It's super easy to do. You can record, you can edit straight on their website, anchor.fm, or you can download the mobile app and do a lot of the same. You can make money with no minimum listenership. Yeah, get out there, man. Start making a podcast.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
All right, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I am on the phone with Joel.
Hey guys, what's up?
Joel is coming at you from about a mile away. We are practicing social distancing, but the show must go on, so...
We are more than 6 feet, so yes.
Yes. So today we're going to talk about our top 10 of the year 2000 to 2009. So the first decade of the century.
Yes.
So, Joel, let's just jump right into it. All
right.
What's your number 10?
So my number 10, I'm starting off my list pretty strong here, I think. My number 10 is Final Destination.
Okay.
Number 1.
Yeah.
And that came out in exactly 2000.
Okay. Why'd you like that one?
It was different from other movies that have been out in recent or even past years. The death scenes were fun.
Yeah.
And the acting was, it was what it was. Wasn't great, but wasn't horrible. And yeah, it was just a fun movie.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen that one a number of times. It's pretty good. I enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's followed by 4 pretty good to good sequels as well. So.
Okay, yeah, I think I've seen 2 of them, maybe 3 of them.
I think you've seen all of them.
Have I?
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure we even watched the 5th one together.
Okay.
When that one came out.
Is that one called The Final Destination?
No, that's the 4th one.
Oh. So.
Yeah, the 5th one was just Final Destination 5.
Oh my gosh.
Very original.
Okay. All right, so we had Final Destination 2, 3, and then we had The Final Destination.
Yes.
And then we had Final Destination 5?
Yes. Yeah, that's how they decided to do it.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
That's funny. So, yeah, such a solid beginning, and I guess the other ones were pretty good from what you're saying. I only remember 2 other movies. I remember the traffic jam.
That was the second one.
Scene. Yeah, I remember that. And then I remember the roller coaster.
That was the 3rd one.
Oh wait, now that I think about it, I remember the racing, like the car racing.
That was the 4th one.
That's the 4th one.
We're going in order here.
Okay, and then what's the 5th one?
And the 5th one was the bridge. It pretty much tied everything together at the end.
Huh. Okay.
From the first one, and we watched that one together. So
okay.
We may need to do a Final Destination podcast.
Yeah.
Do those movies at some point.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to remember that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good pick. All right, so my number 10 is What Lies Beneath from 2000.
You will see that on my list at some point.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Seen it a number of times. I think I'm going to watch it pretty soon here. Because I've been seeing it pop up on Hulu or Netflix.
I think it's on Hulu. Yeah.
You know how they try to like recommend movies for you to watch.
Yeah.
So I keep seeing that one pop up. So I think I'm gonna have to pull the trigger on that one.
You should. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It might even go further up on your list at some point.
Yeah.
Watch it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a little while. I remember watching that in middle school. I think it's PG-13, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So props to that, making it a
Yeah.
somewhat family-friendly movie.
Yeah. A horror movie for the family.
Yeah, for the whole
Yeah.
family.
I did see it with my family in theaters, so
Okay, there you go.
when this came out.
Yeah, it's a family event.
It is.
Yeah. Harrison Ford, Michelle Pfeiffer, some good acting, some good mystery.
Good mystery, yeah. Good writing, just everything about that movie was good.
Yeah.
So, especially the last half of the movie.
Yeah.
It gets pretty intense.
Yeah. All right. What is your number 9?
My number 9 is The Strangers.
Oh.
Yes. It's I don't know. This is a really good movie from start to finish. The first half of it was definitely the more intense half.
Yeah.
But the movie itself was just, I enjoyed it every time I watch it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, the first half when they're kind of messing with him.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, they say something that I know you like.
They do, yes. Liv Tyler is yelling at him, asking why they're doing this to him, and one of the girls just says, "Because you were home," which is just it's a basic line, a basic thing to say, but it's, I don't know, it's a good line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Altogether.
Yeah.
So
Just makes you
I was
think.
bored and you're home, so,
Yeah.
you know.
Makes you think it can happen to anybody. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the part, this is toward the end too, when they're like being just brutally killed in the house. They're like tied up.
Spoiler alert, by the way.
Yeah. They're tied up. And outside, it shows like a shot of outside, and it's just like birds flying, and you know, it's just all quiet.
So, yeah.
And then you know like what's going on inside, so it's like it's interesting because it's like, man, that could be anybody, you know.
Yeah.
And nobody would know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly. That could happen to any neighborhood.
Yep. All right, so my number 9 is Kill Theory from 2009.
Okay. Yes.
This was an After Dark production. I don't even know if they make movies anymore.
I don't think they did.
Yeah.
I don't think they do. I think it was just like a number of years. I think it was like maybe 4 years
Yeah.
in a row that they were like knocking out like two a year pretty much.
Yeah, I think from what I remember, they would release, I want to say it was eight films to die for.
Yeah.
Is what it was called, and it was like, I don't know if it was during the Halloween season or what, but they'd release them, you know, one after the other. It was almost like just like a collection of movies. And this was one of them, definitely the best one.
It was, yeah, definitely was the best. There were a couple of decent ones too, but that was definitely the best one.
Yeah. Basically a guy, well, this group of friends are at this, you know, vacation home, and there's a guy who basically puts them in a position where they can't leave, and he says, basically, you all have to kill each other, and then the one that's left standing will be able to walk out. And so it's pretty intense.
Yeah, it gets pretty intense.
Yeah, and it has a little bit of a twist ending that I won't give away.
It does.
Which is, I like that. That's what bumped it up to be in my top 10.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was. I need to rewatch that movie at some point. But I do remember there being a pretty good twist ending at the end of that.
I actually own that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, what's next?
All right, my number 8 is going to be Frailty.
Yeah, that's a good one.
McConaughey movie. It came out in like 2003, I think, and it's just a really good movie about a guy who thinks he sees an angel or thinks he sees God, and tells him to basically he was chosen to, him and his family, his two sons were chosen to kill the demons that are in the world.
Yeah.
And only they can see who they are.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's obviously a mental health issue. But yeah, he goes basically on like a rampage and kills regular people who he thinks are demons. And one of his sons has that mental illness as well. And yeah, it's just a really good movie.
Yeah.
And it's told by Matthew McConaughey. One of the two sons' point of view.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. Matthew McConaughey does a good job in this one too.
Yeah, I love his dramatic roles. I think a lot more than his comedic roles.
Yeah. Okay. I think that would be on a lot of people's top 10 for this decade.
Yeah.
And I think
it's kind of one that kind of falls under the radar a little bit. It wasn't like a huge movie when it came out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think it's gained respect since it's been out, though. Like, I feel like I hear people talk about that movie more often now than back when it came out.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it took a little bit of time. Okay, so my number 8 is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake.
Nice.
2003.
Nice. That is a good one.
Yeah, I like slashers, and this is one of the originals that was remade and is far, far superior to the original.
Yeah.
You're
gonna upset a lot of people by saying that, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I tried to watch the original, or I did watch the original like 6 months ago or so, and I actually watched it on Halloween, last year.
Oh, nice.
And I don't get it. There's like a bunch of screaming. Just a bunch of screaming. Especially toward the end of the movie. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like painful to watch. And I'm not scared, I'm just annoyed.
Yeah. Nostalgia plays a big factor in a lot of those 70s movies.
Yeah.
That, people love them for nostalgia reasons.
Right.
Basically, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think...
But yeah, the remake is definitely better.
Yeah. I think they're trying to, for the original, trying to be, like, disturbing, And to me, it just came off as annoying. But the...
And for its time, too, it also came out shortly after, not even that long after. It's inspired by a true story.
Yeah.
Not everything, happened and that actually happened, but it did come out just a couple years after that actually happened in real life.
Right.
So
right.
That definitely played a factor into it too, especially if you watched it back then.
Yeah, I could see that. So, in the remake, the sheriff, he really makes the movie for me. He did a really good job. I remember seeing it in theaters when I was in high school, and that's weird because it was Halloween when I saw it in theaters in high school. So this has become a Halloween movie apparently for me.
Yeah,
with the remake and the original. That's weird. I just thought of that. But yeah, it's always kind of been a dark, disturbing, just gritty movie. If you ever want to watch something like that, I feel like the Texas Chainsaw remake is kind of perfect for that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a good movie. Definitely agree with that one.
All right, where's your number 7?
My number 7 is going to be 1408.
Yes.
John Cusack, Samuel L. Jackson. Stephen King, yeah. As well, one of his short stories. It's just a really good movie from start to finish.
It had me jump a couple times.
Yeah, me too.
I saw it in theaters, and I definitely jumped.
Mm-hmm. There's like 3 endings, so I guess it really depends on which ending it is that you watch.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
for the most part. But yeah, that movie is just really good from start to finish. So.
That's another PG-13 movie.
It is. Yeah, I have a couple of those on my list.
Yeah.
Both do.
I like John Cusack's acting in a lot of stuff. So.
Yeah, he does good with horror.
Yeah.
And drama. And he's a good actor.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think a lot of people have probably seen that at this point, but if you haven't, put it on right now, this moment.
Exactly.
All right. My number 7 is Jeepers Creepers from 2001.
Nice.
Just a fun movie. Justin Long. Is that his first movie?
I think it was. Actually, I'm pretty sure Jeepers Creepers was his first movie.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's not one of his first movies.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, the brother-sister team, they played...
Dynamic.
Yeah, they played that pretty well. But it's creepy, but then it's fun, and the main, the villain, the creeper, he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he is.
So yeah, it's just a fun one. I've seen it many times, so I had to put it on this list somewhere.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing an episode on that one.
We are doing that one. That's our next movie we're doing.
Yep.
So, all right. That kind of leads me into my number 6, which is Jeepers Creepers. I just watched this again last night, and it's a good one.
Yeah.
He hasn't really done a whole lot of like horror movies, Justin Long, but he did a pretty convincing job. And the brother-sister dynamic, they actually felt like they were brother and sister.
Yeah.
Especially in the first like half of the movie. So
yeah.
That was another movie that, again, I don't know what it is about me, but I prefer the endings that aren't happy.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one that does not have a happy ending.
Yeah, you're just a sick and twisted individual.
I pretty much am, yeah.
Although I have Texas Chainsaw, I don't think that has a happy ending. I can't remember, though.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Oh, man. Okay.
We're just both twisted, I guess. That's why we have this podcast.
Yeah, I guess you have to be. All right, my number 6 is 1408 from 2007.
Oh, nice. All right.
So we kind of just flipped those.
Flipped those two.
Yeah. And really with my list, there's probably 3 or 4 of them. Like the top 4 are pretty solid. But anything else under that can alternate and change. Just depending on, the day. Really.
Yeah, pretty much. They'll still be on your list. Just, maybe higher or lower.
Yeah. So for today, this is the order.
Yeah.
And we already kind of talked about 1408. I like the mystery of it. I like the idea of a guy who doesn't believe in ghosts or hauntings. Is a guy who writes about hauntings and stuff.
Ghosts and hauntings.
Yeah, so he's just skeptical about all this stuff, and so he goes to these different locations that are supposed to be haunted, and this one is room 1408 at the Dolphin Hotel.
Yes.
So, love it.
I wonder if does that actually exist?
I don't know.
Hotel in Florida?
I don't know. I have to look into that.
Sure, if it does, then that place got flooded with business after this movie came out.
Yeah.
So my number 5 is going to be Saw.
Saw, yes.
Saw 1.
Okay.
Saw numero uno. Again, does not have a happy ending, but has one of the best twist endings of any like horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good one. This one was probably not as gory as the other ones were.
Yeah, no, this one's pretty tame.
But it definitely, compared to the other ones, this one was pretty tame.
Yeah.
It was more story based than anything, and I like that about this. So yeah, is a good one. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
And
I
there's
enjoy the series, but there's definitely a couple in there that are not great.
yeah, a lot of movies came from this.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we're going into number 9 with
yeah.
with
Spiral.
Spiral.
This is gonna be number 9.
Wow.
We got one in September. It got bumped to.
I don't think they have a date yet for that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they're waiting. From what I read last, I know. Quiet Place, Part 2 got September.
Got bumped to September, like 25th or something.
Yeah. All right. So my next one, my number 5 is Joyride, 2001.
Nice. Yes.
Rusty Nail and Candy Cane.
Yes, that was a good one.
You gotta love that guy's voice.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's a very soothing yet creepy voice.
Very soothing, yes. Paul Walker, Steve Zahn, and Helen Hunt's daughter. I don't know her name. I can't remember her name. But
she has kind of a weird last name.
Yeah.
I think her first name is Lily or something like that. I forgot what her last name was.
Lily. All right.
Lily. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good one. I don't know if a lot of people have seen it, but basically a couple of guys and a girl on a road trip messing around with a CB radio. Which, do you think people have CB radios anymore?
I think truck drivers still do.
Yeah, you think they still talk to each
Pretty
other?
sure that's still a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they are not truck drivers, but they pretend to be.
No, they're not. Yeah.
They pretend to be and play a joke on this other truck driver who is not in the mood.
Taking it.
So,
yeah.
another.
I mean, it's kind of a messed up what they, like lead him on and stuff like that. But
yeah.
he takes it a step further that probably shouldn't have.
Yeah. It's just a joke, man. Calm down.
Yeah, exactly. Lighten up, man. It's April Fools, right?
But yeah, it's a road trip horror movie, which I like those. Like Jeepers Creepers was like that as well. So.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, where's your number 4? What's number 4?
All right, my number 4 is going to be The Others with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, it's a very dark movie.
It is a dark movie.
Like literally.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the movie is... the entire movie is, placed indoors, but the lights are pretty much out the entire movie, it seems like. There's candlelight, but that's, That movie is just... It's one of my favorite actual ghost stories.
Yeah.
In horror. And it's just a really well done, well acted, well written movie with like 3 twists at the end of it.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah, it's
one right after another.
Very good writing, good plot.
Yeah, definitely. And that last twist just completely flips the entire movie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I had to put it high up on my list.
What's the imaginary friend or supposed imaginary friend? Victor, is that his name?
I think it was Victor, yeah.
I feel like it was Victor, yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing it in theaters and thinking, man, what a like proper name for.
I know.
It's Victor. Oh, okay.
This is just Victor. Don't worry about Victor.
I think it was Victor. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting.
I'm pretty sure it was. I had to rewatch it, but I'm pretty sure his name was Victor.
Okay.
That sounded familiar.
All right. So my number 4 is The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
That was a very good movie.
Very, very good.
Yes. A horror drama, courtroom drama.
Yeah. Kind of blurs the line between possession and science.
Yeah.
Or I I guess, medical science.
Yeah, medical science.
Yeah.
Based or inspired on a true story.
Yep.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. There's been trials on priests who perform exorcisms because the person dies during the exorcism or shortly after. So this is a story of one of those. And very, very touching story.
It was. It definitely had its moments.
Yeah.
Very well acted movie. She did a terrific job playing a possessed girl.
Yes.
It's not a very easy thing to do.
Dexter's sister.
Dexter's sister, yeah.
Yeah. And who's
also in quarantine.
Yep. Who played the lawyer?
Was that Laura Linney?
Yeah, Laura Linney. I like her.
Yeah. She's done a few of those courtroom dramas. Not horror courtroom, but regular courtroom.
Yeah.
So.
All right. What do you have? Number 3. Top 3.
All right. Our top 3 now. My number 3 is The Mist.
Oh, man. Talk about bad ending.
Well, bad as in not happy.
Yeah.
It was a terrific ending. An ending that was different from Stephen King's original book, which he apparently loved this ending a lot more than his own. Which I'm sure a lot of people say a lot of times to his stories that get turned into movies. But yeah, The Mist. I mean, the creatures weren't. It was poor CGI for the most part, but it wasn't really about the creatures. It was about. I mean, obviously it's called The Mist, and it's about the creatures in the mist. But there's so much more to the story than just that. There's the human dynamic to it. They're all stuck in a grocery store when this happens.
Yeah. And
over time, some people turn to this one woman who is I don't want to say religious fanatic. But she definitely goes Old Testament on them.
Yeah.
And into sacrificing humans for end of the world type thing that's going on.
Yeah.
And it's just a very well made movie.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, but that ending, man, that is rough.
And that was a pretty tough ending it was very well done.
Yeah.
But it's one of those endings that stays with you for a while.
Yeah, I'll never forget
afterwards.
that. And I think I've seen the movie twice, maybe not even twice, but I'll never forget that ending.
Yeah, you need to watch it again.
Yeah,
it is a good movie.
Yeah, no, I do. I've been thinking about it.
You gotta get past the CGI.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that bad boy. All right.
All right.
My number 3 is Saw from 2004. One of my favorite horror movies ever, and in my opinion, the best twist ending in the history of film. You just can't beat it. It's incredible.
It was, that ending was very well done.
It's tremendous ending.
Yeah.
And we already did a podcast on that, and we already talked about it with you, so.
We did, yeah. So if you haven't watched that one yet, or listened, I should say.
Yeah.
Can't really watch it. Listen to it. Listen to all of our podcasts.
Yep. I think we've covered that one quite a bit. It's just one of the best films in the world. So.
Of all time. Yeah. Not even just horror, just in all time.
Just all time. Some of the best acting, too.
Oh, yeah. Terrific acting.
Tremendous.
All right. It's going to be on your top 10 of all time list. I already know that. Okay, so my number 2 is What Lies Beneath.
Oh, what does lie beneath?
A movie that was... Well, I don't know. There's a lot that lies beneath, actually. This movie was your number 10, and it is almost the complete opposite not quite number 1. But it made it pretty close up there, number 2.
Yeah.
I just think it was one of Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford's best movies they've done.
Yeah.
And having them both together in a movie, not even just this movie, but together in general is pretty cool. I don't think they've ever done a movie together before or since. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I can't think of any.
And they're both really good actors. So I'm glad they decided to do this one together.
Yeah, I love it. It's a tremendous movie.
It is. Yes. Tremendous.
Oh, man.
Yeah. With it, the last, third of the movie really feels like a Hitchcock movie to me.
Yeah. No, yeah.
He's always been one of my favorite, horror directors. So, I really liked... The whole movie was really good, but the last half of it was really good.
You were about to say tremendous.
I may have been. That word may have been in my thoughts.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, he's tremendous twice on the same movie.
All right. My number 2.
All right.
My number 2 is again one of the greatest films in the history of films, and that's Freddy vs. Jason, 2003.
Okay. Nice. Yes, that was definitely a lot of fun. I saw that one in theaters.
Yeah. Love it. Love, especially Freddy. He is amazing. He's awesome in that one. Funny, yet still scary and twisted.
Yeah.
And his opening monologue is just so awesome.
Yeah, I love that opening monologue.
Yeah, such a good way to start the movie. And it's
that was
it's a slasher that it knows what it is. It doesn't take itself seriously at all, and I love it.
It doesn't, not one bit. I mean, you can't with a title like that. It's only for the fans of those movies, of those franchises.
Yeah, and it's just cool. Once they're both in the same world together, it's just cool to see them, in that standoff. Fighting each other.
Yeah.
It's just can't get enough of that.
Yeah. No, the movie is definitely a lot of fun.
But there is one more movie that is just a tiny, tiny bit better. Fraction of a...
Just a tiny bit. My number 1, and I'm pretty sure it's yours as well. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not going to assume that we have the same movie. But my number 1
might be
is
surprised.
Identity.
Identity.
What?
You said Identity?
Identity, yes.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
Yes. Another John Cusack movie. Just a very well-made, again, has a crazy twist ending.
Yeah, tremendous.
It has a couple of them, actually. That movie does have a couple twist endings, or twists in it. One of them is halfway through the movie, so I can't really say it's a twist ending.
Yeah. Ray Liotta.
Yeah, Ray Liotta is in it as well. Yeah.
Amanda Peet.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah.
It's basically about 10 people that meet at this hotel because both sides of the road are blocked off. It's been raining. It's stormy.
Right.
And it was a dark and stormy night. And they mysteriously, one by one, get killed off.
Oh, man.
And yes, it is a very good movie.
Yeah. It sounds pretty generic, but it is not.
No, it's not.
No.
At one point, they mention an Indian burial ground, which is a very basic plot device for a lot of horror movies.
Yeah.
But that ends up not going anywhere either. So
true. Yeah. It was just to throw you off, I guess.
It was mentioned for us to basically roll our eyes at for a second.
Yeah.
So,
That is also my number one. Big surprise.
Right.
It's a tremendous movie. One of the best movies ever made. Don't take everything for at face value on that movie. See if you can figure it out. If you haven't seen it, try to watch it and figure it out. I bet you cannot.
Yeah, you might guess, like, jokingly at one point. I think I did.
What?
When I first saw it.
No. I don't know if I believe
said
you.
It was so and so, but yeah, I didn't think it was actually going to be, but I still really enjoyed that movie.
Okay,
a lot.
All right.
It's actually I haven't really done like a top 10 of all time list, but it was on there at one point.
Yeah.
Of all time, so it's a very well made movie.
Yes, very good. Best in the world.
Yes. Best. Yes, one of the best in the entire world. We've seen them all, so we know.
Yes, of course. All right, so let's talk about some the movies that did not make our list, but are worthy of mentioning.
Yes. So I have 5 on here.
Okay.
I have Dawn of the Dead, the remake, like 2004,
Okay.
I believe. That's just zombie movies can be pretty generic at times.
Yeah.
But for a remake of like a classic zombie movie from like 70s or 60s, no, actually I think it was even before that. It was a very well made, well done movie.
Yeah. I have something similar to that on my honorables. Yeah.
On your honorable mentions list?
Very similar, and it has a rhyming title.
Oh, nice.
The suspense. Don't you want to know what it is?
I think I might, but I'm not sure if it's the same movie I'm thinking of. It's not in this decade.
Okay. Well, we will see.
All right. My next one is The Descent.
Yeah. That one's scary.
It is, yeah. It is a creepy movie, and again, it has the first time I watched it, it's left an uneasiness in me.
Right.
Because there's a point in the end of the movie where she escapes, and it's all happy, and then she wakes up and she's right back in the cave again.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Another not so happy ending.
Exactly. Yeah. I just love those movies. Another one that was on your list was Joyride.
Oh yeah, you gotta have that in there.
Exactly.
Gotta have the rusty nail.
Yeah. I had to cross one of mine off to fit that in there. I completely forgot about that movie.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that was a very well done movie. One of Paul Walker's best.
Yes.
Zombieland was another one.
Okay. That was a fun movie.
And it was, yeah. It was a lot of fun. I haven't seen the second one yet, but...
Me either.
I heard it was almost as good as the first, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was it's a fun movie. It was, created around the time that zombies started getting popular.
Yeah.
It was like even right before Walking Dead came out, and, at this point, zombies kind of, they're whatever at this point, like they're everywhere. But back then they weren't really, they were just starting to get their popularity up. So it came out in the perfect time.
Yeah.
For sure. And my number 5 for the honorable mentions is Drag Me to Hell.
Oh man, that's another Justin.
Another Justin Long movie. Yeah, he's good with horror.
Yeah.
And another movie that does not have a happy ending. Has an ending that at least for me stayed with me for a while as well.
Yeah. You know what other horror movie Justin Long is in?
Tusk.
Yeah.
I believe, yeah. Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah, that's also one of the most tremendous movies.
I've not seen that one yet, but
yeah, you gotta
I like
watch
Kevin
that one.
Smith, so I might need to check that one out.
Yeah, it's something. Okay, you won't see that on my list for anything unless we're doing most obscure or something. You might
That'd
see
be a
it on
tough
there.
list to come up with.
Yeah. All right, so I have some 5 honorable mentions as well. I'm just gonna rattle them off real quick. We got Behind the Mask, the Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Yes, that was a pretty good movie. You had me watch that.
Yeah.
With you before, and that was good.
Yeah, loved it. It was creative, funny, but then also a horror movie. So it's what you want like a slasher to be. And it's basically a mockumentary about a slasher preparing for his night of terror. And it's too much fun. Okay, and then we got Trick or Treat from 2007.
Okay, yes.
It's a Halloween staple now. You got Sam, the little pumpkin guy.
The little pumpkin head guy.
Yeah. He's just cool. It's an anthology style horror movie. Takes place all on Halloween night. Another fun one. I wouldn't say scary, but just fun.
Yeah.
And then we have the one that rhymes with Dawn of the Dead, Shaun of the Dead.
Okay, yeah. When I said Zombieland, I kind of paused for a second because I was like, I probably could have put Shaun of the Dead on there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I figured it was going to make it on your list too, so.
Yeah. Super funny.
It was.
The beginning of Simon Pegg and Nick Frost and Edgar Wright. Yeah, they had a few movies after this.
Trilogy of movies.
Yeah. Just awesome. Good British comedy.
Yeah.
And then we have The Mist, 2007.
Okay.
Talked about that one.
Yep.
And
My
then
number 3.
Yeah, you're number 3. Then we have Orphan from 2009.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're supposed to be making a sequel to that.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
That
was a
one,
pretty good movie.
Yeah. Good twist.
Yeah.
And
it's another one I haven't seen. I haven't seen it in years.
I hadn't seen it, but maybe a couple of times, and then I watched it not that long ago. And it was like, man, this was good, and just really, really creepy.
Yeah.
A little disturbing.
Yeah.
How this little girl was able to act.
I remember a lot, but I do remember there were some pretty disturbing parts in that.
Yeah. All right, and that is everything.
That is our list, our top 15.
Yeah.
Our top 10 and 5 honorable mentions.
Yep. You know what kind of list we did? We did a tremendous list.
We did. This was a tremendous list.
Tremendous podcast.
Word of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Tremendous.
So, what'd you think about this decade overall?
This was a very solid decade for horror.
Yeah.
I remember when I was making my list, I easily could have done like a top 50 for this decade.
Oh, wow.
Because there was just a lot that we had that they gave us in 10 years.
Yeah.
And I didn't find the next decade all that hard to come up with.
Yeah.
So 2009 was definitely a better decade than 2010 to 2019.
Yeah.
So I just hope that this decade we're in is going to be even better.
Me too.
They stop pushing our movies back.
Yeah, we're living in a horror movie.
We are, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Tremendous decade. Really good movies. Great for horror. Hopefully, we can bring some of this magic back into this current decade, and we'll have a lot to talk about on this show.
I know. Give us a whole decade's worth of movies.
All right. Well, so that was the first decade. We're also going to be doing the second decade. And so look out for that one as well. And look for us on Facebook at Scare Talk Podcast, on Twitter at Scare Talk Pod. You can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, any other one that I didn't mention. And we're over 330 plays now, so getting kind of up there. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors.
Yes. Tell everybody that you know.
Yeah, but don't tell them in person unless you're going to be 6 feet away from them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Call them.
Yes, call them.
Email them. Text them.
Yeah. And, write us a review, give us a comment, give us a like, give us a something. We want to know how we're doing. So, exactly. I guess that's it. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let the first decade of the century bite.